If you're a self-person entrepreneur and you're looking to sell your business, what's an example of a rigid LOI or a strong LOI position, and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan, coming to you live from Sacramento, California on a perfect day to talk about sales and business, and a fantastic day to talk about you. I'm coming to you live for Consulting Secrets. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. You may choose to engage with a company, a private equity firm, an investor, and they say, hey, look, here's what we want you to do. We want to get you under LOI. We want to send you an LOI, a letter of intent. And some people call it a letter of intent contract. Some people call it an agreement. Today, we're just going to call it letter of intent. And they say, hey, make your red lines. And a red line is your edits. What things are acceptable to you. It could be what they're willing to pay. It could be some of the terms. It could be some of the penalties. It could be some of the things that are written inside of the contract. Okay. And a strong LOI position, sometimes they don't care what you say. Right? No matter what you ask for is going to be a no. So you say, hey, my sell box is $1 million and or 10 million with $1 million holdback. And they're like, no way. We offered you 9. We're sticking to 9 and it's going to be $1.5 million. Sometimes you have to be aware that that LOI red line is just a formality for them. They never plan on moving. They never plan on changing anything. That is their boilerplate. It is what it is. It's the way that we're going to do it. So be aware, like sometimes, even for me, when I've gone through LOIs with companies and organizations, company will say, hey, we want to buy, we're going to send you an LOI, let's get your red lines. And every single red line is denied. Every single one of them. Their buy box, right? Their buy box in the process or their acquisition criteria or their purchasing criteria is so tight that they're not going to move. They're not going to budge. And you need to know this because like it may be soul crushing if nobody ever tells you that this is normal, right? It may be soul crushing or hurt your feelings if you're like, they didn't take any of this into account, and you may go, none of it. And so be aware, it happens. Now here's the thing, I'm gonna give you my criteria. If you're doing at least $2 million a year in revenue with a 10% profit margin, and you're looking to sell in the next 0 to 36 months and you want some help on the exit, you should reach out to the Deal Hotline, 888-DEAL-919, right here, 888-DEAL-919, and a member of my team will get back to you. So be aware that you may think, hey, I'm going into negotiations, and that other company may be like, we're not going into negotiations. We're giving you a letter of intent. Our letter of intent is a letter of intent, and that's it. That's it. And so here's what I've seen happen on a few occasions where company says, hey, we want to send you a letter of intent. And you're like, fantastic, send a letter of intent. You make your red lines, and then they send it back, and they're like, this is our final offer. Like they're like, we're not going back and forth. Our criteria is our criteria. Our acquisition buy box and purchase box is exactly what it is, and we're not going to move. We're not going to budge. So what are your opportunities? What do you do? Well, you can always disengage. Now, sometimes people will put in their letter of intent that you have a period of time where you cannot go out and solicit another deal. So let's say that you're supposed to close the deal on June 1st. They may write that you can't solicit another deal till July 15th, right? It is what it is. It's part of the gig. It's part of the game. Just be aware that there's rules to what we do. There's rules to the industry. There's norms. And depending upon who you're dealing with and who you're working with and the shenanigans that they're used to playing, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, it is what it is. Do I do that? Most of the time, no. It just really depends upon the service, the industry, and what's going on. There are norms in investing that I look at and I'm like, why do you got to make it so hard? And then there's norms in the industry. I'm like, okay, this person plays ball. Be aware that how people work through the LOI is going to be a signal. It's a benefit for you. It really is. At the end of the day, how people work through the LOI with you in the beginning is how it's going to be the entire way through. So you're dealing with people who are looking at a spreadsheet, who are looking at numbers. They're looking at an Excel file or a Google Doc, and they're saying, does this number right here that you have meet our number? And if it doesn't, too bad. They're not emotional about it. They look at money all day long. They look at $1 million, 10 million, 50, 100 million, $1 billion all the time. And so they're like, it's just money. It's a number on a sheet. It is what it is. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. Just know that depending upon your company, how good it is, there's a buyer for you somewhere else. Somewhere else will love you. Maybe different terms, maybe different contingencies. You got one of 3 things to do from here. Just one of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.